Greetings from a rather chilly South Australia, where I've been doing some downwinding and flat water pumping practice, comparing the new skinny rear stabs with the progressive rears, which I'm very much used to and at home with and love. So the skinny rears, how do they compare? Well, let me just show you so out there doing some downwinding. The wind's really dropped off now because it is evening, but there, downwinding, and over there in the marina itself, some flat water practice, and with that little kiddie there, the integrated Cedrus mast and full drive, going with the progressive 350, 300. This one is the skinny 40 cord, and no, sorry, that's the 45 and that is the 40. The reason why they don't have the correct, because they're prototypes. So a little bit late to the game in testing them. I've been traveling around, just haven't had the opportunity, so now I have, and I can tell you that the results have really shocked me. The 350 is by far and away my favorite pumping stab. It's big enough to not lose any lift, and you hardly lose any pump and lift compared to the bigger progressive stabs. When you're doing something like downwinding, even flat water pumping, yeah, you do get a lot more lift and pump with the bigger progressive stabs, but the 350 is the smallest one that I can use without losing too much lift and therefore pump. The 300 is when I want to go fast. I prefer it on smaller foils, faster foils. You don't lose any pump when you are going faster. A foil that needs to be kept going fast is easy to pump when you are going fast. If you're going slow, then you're going to stall and come off foil anyway. So, in my opinion, small foils pump better with a small stab because you're able to keep them going faster in their preferred speed range. When you get the bigger foils, that's when you need a bigger stab with more lift. Now, the skinny rears have sort of bucked that trend. Started off with the 55 and the 45 and the 40. For me, at my weight of 82 kilograms, the 40, I sort of lose a little bit too much pump, but the 45 is amazing. If I'm on a really big foil and I know I'm going to be going slow, the 55 is really cool. The biggest foils, like 1310, I do prefer the V2 460. That is awesome at pumping the biggest foils because it's obviously it's bigger and it actually turns foils like 1310, the 1300 and the 1150. It gives them a little bit more speed and glide, and it's really nice. Especially for downwinding and light wind winging, and pumping for that matter. But yeah, foils like the 1050, the 1201, foils of that sort of size, I would say that for a heavy person, the skinny 55 is going to be really cool. For my sort of weight, the 45 is awesome. I even really like the 45 with the smaller foils like the 999, the 899, the 910, the 930, 880, all of that sort of size foil. Like I say, I've just gotten onto using the 40 skinny, and it's super fast and it's amazing for downwinding. But as soon as you start doing things like flat water pumping, just lose a little bit too much in terms of pump at slower speeds. So the skinnies, I've got a lot more testing yet to do, but my first impressions are, well, firstly, I couldn't believe that the skinny 45 actually pumps a whole lot better than the 350 progressive, but it's faster. Doesn't turn quite as quick. You can't initiate and change direction, turning and carving quite as quick as the progressive stabs, 350 and smaller, but it's a more sort of progressive and more predictable sort of turning. So for downwinding, I actually love the skinnies now. I mean, yeah, I really am converted. Don't get me wrong, the progressives are still amazing. I love them, but I think for me at the moment, progressives for surfing, skinnies for downwinding. Flat water pumping, depends what you're trying to do. They both fit, they both work. I think the 45 upwards are amazing for flat water pumping. The 45 downwards, good for downwinding. I haven't tried the skinnies for surfing yet. That's something I've got to do, but for the moment, that is one hell of a ramble. Hope it's helpful. And yeah, just last little look at the sunset. Nice. Alrighty, righty roos. Woo.